Ooh. Oh. Good morning. It is Friday, April 11th, and this is my log job at Portsmouth College, and this is the landing that I've been working on. So down on the farm, things are starting to dry out down there, but as you come back up here on the college land, Portsmouth College in Portsmouth, New York, where I've been working for quite some time now, as you can see, there's still snow here. April 11th, and still all this snow. Now out in the woods, where there's this tree cover, the snow is not bad. It's actually really good logging. But this little stretch, this is a roadway that goes up to the larger landing that I was going to use originally, but I said, no, I don't want to go up there right now because I want to be able to get my logs trucked. But anyways, this is the roadway that goes up there. And yesterday I walked through here for the first time, and I got a picture or two even that I'll show right now. So as you can see, there's still a lot of snow right here in this roadway. It's like all the snow all winter, as it's coming down, it kind of drifted right to this opening, and this is where it sat. And because it's been warmer and then colder, and the mornings have been cold, it's about 32 degrees right now. But on Wednesday when I was up here last, I could walk anywhere on this hard crust, but the horses could not. They would break through. So why am I telling you all this? Well, right at the moment, all of my Amish sawmills that I'm selling logs to are kind of stockpiled right now. I took 2 loads out this past week to a sawmill, but I decided to do it a little bit differently because a lot of times these Amish sawmills want something specific for their log supply. Oh. So what I decided to do is use this large landing up here and just skid out a bunch of trees that are not cut up, so I can cut to the length that these Amish sawmills want. So this was Wednesday's work that we did. We skidded these logs all out on Wednesday, and some of them are marked up to be cut at certain lengths, but a lot of them are longer pieces that can be cut to lengths that these guys want. So off straight ahead like this, we got a few more logs left in there, and this log is going to be actually all done. There's not a lot left to do here. But today, one of the students from Postmus College is coming up in here to work with the instructor with him, and we're going to be working back down by the other landing. But until they get here, I decided I got time to get maybe one tree out, and we're going to do it up here. Now these logs that are here, I'm a little bit concerned because with all the snow on that road down there, by the time that snow goes, how long will it take to dry that road up to get the truck up into here? So that's a bit of a concern to me. I'll talk to the forester today and see what his thoughts are on it are. And it is all sandy soil through here, so it does dry pretty fast, but it is a concern to me. And but if it's something that I think is going to be an issue, I can actually easily hitch onto these pieces and just skid them the rest of the way down. This is kind of like a short haul, if you want to call it that. And then I will just skid it down to the other landing. But if I do that, I want to do it before the snow goes. That way I'd have a good road. And even today, I'd like to skid a few down through that snow to break that up a little bit so that it's easier, so it'll be a better trail for the horses. So as you can see down there how much snow there is, and up here there's no snow at all. And as a matter of fact, we were in a bit of mud on Wednesday right over there. But anyways, let's go see about cutting a tree down, and we'll try and get a tree out before they get the instructor and the student gets here for a morning's worth of work with him. Okay guys, we're gonna have to hurry. It's 20 after 8 and the student will be here by 9 o'clock. So let's see how far we can get. Ha. 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 Oh. Oh. No. Okay guys, we got the log cut. At least I'm pretty sure it's cut. I need to get a chain around this big log. I really want to get the butt end, but there's no way I can get a chain underneath there very easily. So what I'm going to try to do is I want to put a cradle hitch on this log if I could. So because of that, I'm going to use both my chains, and I'm going to lay one chain right here. With the hook going that way, and the other chain, I need the hook going the opposite way. So I'm going to lay this one right here beside it and stretch them out a ways. And then I'm going to take my logging tongs. Okay. And I'm just going to put one hook way over on the back side. Pull it good and tight. Take my other chain, put around the other hook. And the idea is to roll this big monster the few feet I need to roll it to get this over these chains. Okay, so let me show you one more time. So I got the two chains underneath the log, just sitting there. Have my logging tongs hitched down low there, and the chain hitched to that hook. And if that is cut there, and I think it is, I can just pull it ahead just a little ways. And also one other thing we'll do, because the horses are going to want to go, because that's just what they want to do, if they're headed right for the trees, they can't go too much, and it'll be easier to stop them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go just a tiny little bit, and if need be, I'll back them up and get a closer hitch. G, careful, G, careful. Oh, 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 baby, oh. I'm up here. Yep, ha. Oh, oh. That worked beautiful, guys. So now, put my tongs away. And uh-oh, no, that's right. I didn't even check. I'm assuming, yes, they're both there. Perfect. So this will work slick. I'll get the tongs put away. So as you can see, the chains, 2 chains there, both opposite ends. The other 2 chains down here with both opposite ends. So now, it'll just be the matter of flipping them over. So this hook right here, I prefer it way down low. I think you guys can see all this, but I don't know. So because of the snow, that helps a little bit. There's a little bit of a ability to slide my log around, which is good. So I have the one hook nice and low there. This other chain, I'm going to pull back through. Sometimes you can't always pull them back through because the log is laying right on that chain and it's really hard to pull it. But today, probably because of the snow and whatnot, it was fairly easy to position. So now I have one chain here with my hook down low to lift up, and the other chain here with the hook hitched down low on the opposite side to pick up. Now if I can position myself in here, preferably having my tire right up in between here, then we can hitch right on, and that will pull so much easier than if I just used the one chain. Hello, ha, ha, tepa, ha, ha, G, 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 bye. Sometimes I like to grab stuff and go and be quick, but there's so often times where it's well worth taking the extra preparation, Javier, to get it exactly where I want it. Ha, 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 Javier, Baron, Javier, ha, Baron, oh, abo, oh. So both my chains, it looks like, is going to be short, but because I have my grab hook at the end, at the top here, I should be able to take my grab hook and grab into that without a problem and get it nice and tight. And the other side, same thing. Oh, that's almost going to fit back up here. Maybe not quite though. But it's close. Okay, so I have both chains hitched. As soon as I go a little ways, I will stop and tighten them up a little bit. To make a good situation even better, had it been such that I did all this setup with the notch that I cut out for allowing the tree to fall down, if that was on the bottom like a sled runner, would work even so much better to help us out here. But it's going to be fine just the way it is, I'm sure. So I'm going to pull ahead a little ways, tighten my chains, and head it down. Calf step. Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Bye. Bye. A little bit. Ha. Up, back. Oh. No. No. Julie. Oh. So I'll run that one down the landing and come back and limb this tree up, and it's going to take at least 2 more hitches to get this out of here because it's still pretty good size. We had some issues with this log right here, and how good it will be, I don't know. Probably some red rod in it, but I'll cut like maybe a 12-footer or 14-footer maybe, and then we'll see what's in the rest of that tree. So that's a nice 16-foot log. I'm going to measure the diameter of it. I don't have my scale stick up here, so I can't get a measurement. It's kind of an oblong log, so it's going to be a little tricky to scale up. When you have an oblong log like this, you kind of have to go both ways and split the difference. So we're talking one just shy of 2 feet there. Down here, it's well over 2 feet, so we're going to call that 24 inches in diameter. Yep, 24 inches. So when I get back down to the landing and get my scale stick out, I'll try to remember to check to see how many board feet is in that, but it's 24 inches in diameter, 16 feet long. And because of this little bit of heavy snow and spots in this trail, it definitely pulls hard. I'm going to back it up and even get a little bit more hitch to it. If I can, back up here. Back up here. Oh, we have all kinds of snow between the log and the cart. And it's really sticky this morning too, which makes it really hard going. And all the more reason I'd really love to be able to break some of that snow out of there so I could back up. I don't know if I can. Up here. Up here. Up here. Up, bye. Up, bye. A little bit, bye. Ha, ha. Back up, back up here. Back. Oh, good. Okay. So we got 2 more notches, which doesn't sound like much, but it could be what makes the difference of making it to landing or not making it to the landing. You know how the saying goes, it's just that straw that breaks the camel's back. Cast out. Oh, so as I'm skidding this big log, I'm very observant of my horses to know what they can handle, and also very observant as to where I stop to have an easier start for the horses. You can't really notice it, but up there farther I can see it definitely goes uphill, and it runs right out of snow also, which could be a problem, but I doubt it. I cuffed out. Oh! Oh! Isn't it amazing how the troubles we get into and the situation we get in? And actually, it's kind of neat in a way because some of the things I can show you guys. So you can see there was a log underneath all that snow, and the log caught it and started pushing it up, and it was actually hitting Bill's feet. And I've got to get that moved because I don't want him to be hitting it, and I think I can. I'm hoping maybe. Yeah, okay, get your foot up. Get your foot up, Bill. Bill, get your foot up. Oh! Bill, get your foot up there. Bill! Ho! 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 Oh, good boys. Okay, so I got it out of his feet, but it's just going crossways of that log. If there's any way that I can grab that piece and pull it out before I ask him to go. Now, all these things, more than likely they could pull it, no problem at all. But why put extra strain on them when you get a situation like this? But I don't know if I can get it out though anyways. I'm gonna have to go the other way. Come on, baby. There we go. I don't want to act like a wimp, but it's surprising. My shoulder from breaking my shoulder has healed wonderfully, I must say. But it seems like the muscles in my right arm are very weak for some reason. I'm sure it has to do with that, but I'm also sure it will get better. Anyways, we should be good here now. I cuffed up. Oh! Oh! So I asked him to go ahead because I knew there was another piece right here that I wanted to get out on the trail. Okay. Good, good. So here we come into a spot where there's no snow at all. It's amazing the difference how the snow apparently dropped in different spots, more so than others. Hope, hope, hope. I cuffed up. Now what we have to be careful of is potential stumps that are in the trail from other logging jobs. You know, like those. Because this big log, if it hits one of those stumps, chances of snubbing it up are high, high, high. And we don't want that, of course. Oh! I have told you guys many times before, I don't like to rest horses, and I try to plan my logging in such a way that I can be cutting trees while they're resting. But sometime on big hitches, especially when my horses really aren't in that tip-top shape, there's just been too many days where they haven't worked. Bill is basically just doing logging, and if he gets 2 days a weekend, he's doing good. So he's not in the shape that I have had them in many times before. So because of that, in logs like this, you've got to rest them a little bit. And the secret, and it just takes time and experience, is knowing when to stop them, when to rest them. But it's crucial to learn that, and the sooner you learn that, the faster you can have really good horses, because you'll know when to rest them. And sometimes just because a horse is impatient, Baron was pawing away up there, that doesn't necessarily mean he's rested enough. It just means he's impatient. I'd cuffed up. Oh, okay, we made it to our first landing, and hopefully we're in a spot where I can get my chains unhitched, and it looks like we can. So that's what I'll do, and I'll pull the chains out from underneath the log and back up here. I wasn't planning on doing all this video because I knew we have a student coming in and I was going to film him and how he's working with things here, but some of these things came up there. I thought they're kind of interesting. Thought maybe you guys would enjoy it too. But anyways, we'll call it quits for now, and the students should be here very soon. Okay, the students here, I see. I was able to get back down here before they showed up and piled up all my logs. And the horses are ready to go to work. So let's go see this young man. I see John's in his t-shirt again. John is the forester here and the instructor.
Watched one of your videos last night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So, I'm Jim, and what's your name?
Caden.
Caden.
Yep.
There again,
Nice to meet you.
another one of these names that just are not the familiar names of back in the many years ago. It's interesting, we have all kinds of different names. But anyways, whatever. Glad you're here today. I actually heard that you've got somebody that you know of that watches my videos.
Yeah. My girlfriend's grandfather watches you.
Oh, so. That's great. That's great. Well, you better say hi to him.
I will.
Well, I mean on camera right now.
Oh, hi.
Okay, so I got several questions to ask you. And I asked this to all the guys for some of these questions. So why are you here at Postmas College?
High school, I went to a conservation program, but it was more focused towards forestry. And I came here my junior year to look at the school, and I was just like, yeah, that's the place I'm going to go.
So you started in your junior year.
Yep.
But this is how many years have you been here?
I'm going into my junior year now.
That was your junior year of high school?
High school, yes, correct.
Oh, to see it in your junior high
Yes,
school. I get it.
I visited my junior high school.
So how many years have you been here then?
2.
This is your second year?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So I don't ask this to that many people actually, but what are your thoughts of Postmas College? How are you enjoying it here? What are some things you could say to some young men or women that are interested in forestry and or logging?
Yeah.
That might help them to come here?
I mean, I love it here. I haven't been home in probably like a month and a half now, but I joined the micro team, which is the school logging team.
Okay.
So every weekend I'm out in the woods cutting with them, and I can't seem to get away from it.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, it's highly recommended.
So you're from where again?
Like Utica, New York.
Okay. And did you have any logging experience as a younger guy?
I mean, I always loved motors and stuff like that, so I would always go fart around with a chainsaw and stuff like that, but I never really like logged when I was younger.
Okay. So what is your goal for being here at the school? Are you shooting to be a forester, or what is your thoughts?
I don't know about forester, maybe like forest ranger, and then maybe I'll do like a tree business on the side.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
So in your in a 1 to 10 range, 10 being the best and 1 being the least experienced, where do you place yourself as running a chainsaw?
I'd say probably right at a 9. I've been doing it quite a bit, so.
I'm gonna say this right now. I consider myself a 7. The students that come up here, and in some ways I really like this idea because they have a very good self-esteem, maybe you could say. But generally, their ideas of their chainsaw skills tend to be a little bit higher than maybe I would think. I know a lot of even young guys, and maybe he would be in that boat. I'm not saying he's not, but I know a lot of young guys are actually better with the chainsaw abilities than I am. But yeah, we'll see how he does today. Okay, John, I never asked you. So this is the forester. This is his instructor. Where do you place yourself as a chainsaw operator?
Well, where would you place me, Jim? You've seen me run saw for a little while now.
I think you're as good or better than I am. But I surely wouldn't place you.
I wouldn't have said that, but yeah.
I surely wouldn't put you at a 9.
I would.
No.
Yeah, no. Between a 7 and an 8, I'd say.
To me, a 10 is someone that really doesn't make hardly mistakes. I make way too many mistakes to be placing myself that high.
And not just not making mistakes, but working at pace. Like never a wasted movement.
Right.
Every cut is right where it needed to be, and then there's no pause before the next cut gets laid in, and it's just a perfect flow and you get there. And I was probably closer to that when I was cutting wood full time.
Right.
But you know, you get a little bit rusty standing in front of the blackboard so much.
Yes. I've also said this before, but I feel that the best foresters are the guys that have actually done logging, and John has done a fair amount of logging, which puts him in a better situation to really understand forestry, and so I do like that. Okay, let's get started.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is where we are going to be working, and we're right close to the landing. Okay, there are 3 trees right there close to the road, but there's this one here that actually 4 with that other one. But anyways, there's this one here I think could easily go down there without an issue, and then there's this one here, and then this one here, and that one there. So there's a whole bunch right here around the landing, if that's what you would rather work on, and that's perfectly fine.
So this is
This is not the one closest to what I was talking about.
no, I see 1, 2, and then a third one up there.
Yeah, and then there's that one right there, which is not, that actually might go right down easy enough too. So
If we were to, you want us to get started on this one though, and then work our way in?
if you want to go to that, or you could stay out here and work on these nicer ones, because we got 1, 2, 3, and then there's a few more small ones over there.
So maybe we could start up with that one. It looks like it wants to go into the road.
Yep.
And that's okay. And then this can go in the hole that one opens up for us.
Or down there, so it's lined up with my landing.
Okay.
I open this up here so I can get right through here because we've got 2 loads of logs out of here.
Where are you thinking this would go?
Right down there.
And that's not
Gonna
too
bother.
close to the road for us?
No, you should be able to, I mean, double check yourself, but I would say that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
There again, with the road situation, so I don't like to do it alone, you could easily hit another tree way down there
That's the
and knock that into the road, and it just needs to be cleaned up quick.
Yep.
So,
Okay, so but we can get started on this one,
Yep.
put it right
Yep.
kind of on top of it.
Quite a bit big of a base cut.
Yeah, more than we need probably. Go ahead and bore it in on a smaller tree like this. You just got to be tricky. Try to make sure you leave yourself plenty of space to work as you come in. You know, the key is going to be in line with this, and that the saw is level in this direction, not pitched back and forth, and level this way. Get it set in. Again, plenty of room to go through. Bore all the way through, leave yourself a strap, and then we'll slide it in. Just a nice even hinge. Doesn't need to be too much. And we'll go from there.
Clipped it a little bit.
What's that?
So I clipped it a little bit on the other side.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll go through them. Small trees are a little tricky, but definitely you could just give yourself more room to work. Right. Start that bore further back. So instead of trying to hit it in one shot, you come through knowing that you've got a lot of extra kind of relish in there to work with, and then cut up towards it. But if you want to, yeah, go ahead, put a little bit of a wedge in it. Probably come down fine on its own, but it won't hurt.
good job. How does it feel though? Tough when you got 30,000 people watching you all at the same time, and the foresters looking over your shoulder, and I'm looking over your shoulder. Makes it kind of stressful a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but you got it down good. All right. Yep. Really bit. G. Cast up. Yep. Bye. Ha. 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 Yep. Ha. 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 Oh.
So you said go ahead and cut them right off, or just ring them up?
Just ring them up. No, I'll take the whole tree.
Okay.
Oh. Oh. Coming your way, guys. Oh. Back up a step. Hey. I tapped that. Oh. G bit. G. 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 Oh. Hey. Yep. Cast that. Good job.
So just a couple quick things while we're looking at it. So I'm generally pretty good even hinge width. You ran just a little bit in over on this side, right? You can see we're not a huge deal, but if the saw was already in there, when you're coming back in just to sweep out over there, you don't need the saw to be all the way bored in. You know, you're just trying to take out that little bit of meat that's in there and really staying focused. Like you can tell, this is kind of running in. So as you're cutting that spot, it's just another time to sort of practice like what's the one thing you're focused on in that moment. It's about keeping that saw perfectly parallel to that cut, not running in. If you even set it back a little bit, you know, plug right in.
So this is what John is doing with all these students as he allows them to cut. He will critique it so they can learn new things and see what they might be doing wrong. And I think it's a really great learning experience for these kids. They just have a good sawyer cutter that is here teaching them, and they are learning by real experience, not just bookwork, because you can do bookwork all day long and still not begin to know what you're doing as far as actual hands-on stuff. So I think this is a wonderful program that they have here at Paul Smith College. Well guys, can you hear the old chainsaws barreling down through there? Two guys in there cutting just about all I can do to keep the logs out before they cut another one. So Baron and Bill are doing great today. And yeah, I do, it's quiet there now. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just want to put in one more last plug for Paul Smith College, and maybe, who knows, some of you guys might even come here someday. You have a great day. We'll see you next time.